Hey everyone, this is Tavis from Art of Dying, and if you're not in the now, then you're in the nothing.
So the Avalanche tour, how's that been going for you guys?
It's been going very well, man. We're a little over halfway done so far, and just the turnout's been great. The shows are just amazing. The crowd's been killer, and the Art of Dying set's been killer too. So, I mean, what can you say? We're having a blast. We're happy to be here.
Now, have you seen any particular show that you've done so far? Any particular area that you guys are getting more of a response from, of the U.S. generally?
You know what, we do pretty well all over, but I found up in the Midwest, it's sort of been, that's where we started the tour. It's sort of been where a lot of our fans have really been turning out and singing along to all the songs every night. But I've seen a lot of great response, and sold a lot of CDs up there as well. But I mean, overall, we've kind of been blowing all expectations away, you know. So we're happy to just be playing anywhere at this point, and it's been really great. So can't really pick one.
Nice. Let's talk a little bit about the band. When did you guys originally get together?
We've all been together for almost 4 years now, I guess. And yeah, the band's been around for I think about 6 years, but the four of us as a unit, you know, just about 4 years. And we did our first tour together with Disturbed in 2008, and
wow, what a tour that would have been.
Yeah, it was one of those things where we just sort of got this tour. We're like, okay, great, we're touring Disturbed, and we're just happy to be out there. And then we found out a few weeks later, after the tour ended, that they were checking us out, you know, to sign us to their label. And, you know, the phone rang, of course, and the guys were like, let's get you to Chicago and take you out to dinner. We're like, all right. So we went to Chicago and had dinner with Dave and Dan, and they sort of raised a glass of champagne and said, we're going to sign you guys. And we're like, okay.
Now,
So
were you guys one of the first bands signed to their label?
Yeah, first signing.
Nice. And what did you guys think when you guys actually sit down and sign the contract with them? What was kind of going through your mind at that time?
Well, when we did that, it's funny. It was a lot later than the dinner in Chicago. It was about a year and a half. We were in LA making the record. We actually signed the actual papers in our rehearsal space in LA. We'd already been there for about a week and a half. By the time we got the paperwork, we signed it on the floor of the rehearsal space, and then went and had some wings at Big Wangs down the street, and had a couple of Guinness, and you know, it was pretty casual. It's just like, you know, we knew what was happening, but when we actually put the ink on the paper, we were just the five of us sitting in a dark basement, like signing on the floor, and that was about it. But, it was
now, talking about the record and the recording of it, how long did you guys take putting that whole thing together?
Well, we started in 2009, in the fall of 2009, and we did the record in LA with Howard Benson, and then about 9 months later we went and did a few more tracks in Chicago with Dan Dongan producing. So the whole thing took about a year and a half almost from start to finish.
Wow.
And yeah, just came out a few weeks ago, so here we are.
Now, do you remember the first time you actually heard the final mix of the record? Do you remember what you were thinking when you listened to that?
Yeah. I think I was thinking, let's put this thing out. You know, it's funny because when we first heard the mix of the album, we were excited. We thought it was coming out, but then you know how things in the business seem to go a little bit sideways here and there, and it takes a lot longer than you think. So from the time we heard the first mix of the album until the time it was done, there was months in between. So we were just excited. We just wanted to get it out, get on the road. We're finally here now, that's the exciting part. So we're here now. So. But it definitely took a long time. It seemed like it.
Now, with all the social network sites out there, the Twitters and MySpaces and Facebooks and Reverb Nations, do you think those have had a big impact on your guys' success so far?
Absolutely. I mean, I think one of the things that attracted Dan to us when he was interested in signing the band was the fact that we had a big following online. We had at the time MySpace, right, was big. We had over 1 million friends, and just a lot of networking traffic going on there. And, you know, I think he really recognized our work ethic and the fact that we were just putting ourselves out there, and that was one of the things I think that made everyone sort of notice us. And it is a big thing in this day and age, is the whole social networking, internet stuff. You know, you have to do it because it does work, and it does generate album sales and awareness for the group.
Now, if we were to look at your iPod right now, what type of music would we find on there? What are the maybe the last one or two things you listen to?
Well, I mean, the new 3 Days Grace album, well, it's about a year old now, but the newest 3 Days Grace album's been in mind for a long time. The new Disturbed. And then, of course, you've always got, I've got the Zeppelins, all the entire Aerosmith catalog. Myself, I'm a fan of a lot of the old blues guys like Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf.
So we were just talking a little bit about what type of music you were listening to on your iPod. You were mentioning some blues.
We'll start from that one.
And kind of segue into another question about influences. Do you think blues music had an influence on you?
Definitely, yeah. Me and Greg both, we're both very blues-based guitar players, I guess. For me, when I was 19, I started playing in my first touring band, and it was a weird time. We decided suddenly to become a blues band. We were kind of doing this top 40 covers and throwing in originals here and there back up in Canada, and then one day we decided we wanted to play blues. So there's me, 19, playing, you know, Muddy Waters tunes and learning how to play in the cracks and learning about all the feels of these old guys, and just like, you know, it was one of the first things I learned to play, I guess, you know. And of course, before that, being a Zeppelin fan, you know, it always goes back to the blues. So I think you got to start with the blues at some point for a guitar player. If you don't, you're missing out on a big chunk of the guitar.
Let's kind of go back in time a little bit with you personally. Do you remember, was there one particular band or musician that inspired you the most into getting into the music business? Wanting to pursue, you know, being in a band?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first band I got into was Zeppelin, so I guess Jimmy Page would be the guy. It always comes back to him for me, and, you know, Stairway to Heaven, first song I learned. And then Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water, it's probably the second band I got into. And then I just got into Metallica, GNR, Van Halen, Aerosmith, and everything after that. I just went from there. That's always been rock, you know, rock, blues-based rock.
Nice. Let's talk a little bit about touring. What do you guys got planned after the Avalanche tour?
We're doing a couple weeks with Stone Sour in a bunch of clubs, and going up to Dakotas and Minnesota and stuff like that. And we got a few more festivals. We're going to Jacksonville, playing Rocklahoma with Motley Crue.
Nice.
Perfect Circle.
Yeah, Perfect Circle, Rock on the Range. So a bunch of stuff like that, and then I think into June we're gonna have a couple weeks off, and then go do a Canadian tour, and then we're working on more stuff after that. You know, so we'll be on tour for a couple years, pretty much nonstop.
Nice.
I would hope so.
Now, other than the Midwest, is there any other parts of the U.S. that you look forward to going out and playing?
Yeah, I mean, well, we're going to New York in a couple weeks. We all love New York City. We're playing downtown Manhattan, so that's a first for us.
Nice.
You know, to play there, we've all been there, but for us to play there is going to be really awesome. We also love Vegas. Next tour, hopefully, we'll go play.
Nice.
Show in Vegas. But we love the whole country. It's great going to these different parts. We were just in Florida a few weeks ago, and we love Florida too. But then it's like, oh, now we're in Texas, and we love Texas too. It's like, it's really tough to pick a good spot because they're all so much fun, and the people everywhere are just great. So.
All right.
And I love LA.
LA is always a good place to play.